Hello, Gajendra.
Hi Zaki, how are you?
Hi, I'm doing great. I hope you too.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay. So I'm going to introduce you to the audience and then you can deliver your talks.
sure.
Okay.
Yeah,
Hello, everyone. Good day and welcome to session 3 for day 1 of PyCon Indonesia 2020. My name is Zaki and I will be the moderator. For... Hi, hello. And I will be the moderator for this session, Python and FOSS in Education for Generation Z by Gajendra Deshpande. If you're interested in learn how to teach Generation Z or post-millennial using modern tools, then you have come to the right place. Gajendra will talk about using the smartphone as a learning device and tools such as QPython, Blockly, Flowgorithm, VisuPy, Moodle, and its plugin ecosystem. Gajendra Deshpande is an assistant professor in KIS Gogte Institute of Technology, India. He leads PyData Belagavi and OWASP Belagavi chapters and loves to mentor students and volunteer at free and open source events. And now I'm going to share your screen. Okay, without further ado, the stage is yours, Gajendra. And for the participants, you can keep your questions coming on Hopin platform, and the moderator's team will collect them and we will discuss it in a Q&A session. Let's give a big round virtual applause to Gajendra Deshpande.
yeah. Thank you, Zaki, for the wonderful introduction. And I'm thankful to the organizers of PyCon Indonesia for giving me an opportunity to present my talk at PyCon Indonesia 2020. Uh, my name is Gajendra Deshpande. I will be presenting a talk on Python and FOSS in education for Generation Z. So these are the contents which we are going to discuss today. So that is the uh, the Generation Z, who are Generation Z people. BYOD, that is bring your own device and education. Then the advantages of and disadvantages of bring your own devices. Then we are going to discuss some apps like QPython, Blockly, VisuPy. Then there's a project by IIT Bombay, that is textbook companion project. Then the Flowgorithm tool, then building a new programming language support in Flowgorithm by taking Julia language as an example, because that support was not available. Then the future goals. And let us first discuss about Generation Z. Who are Generation Z? So these are the people who have born between 1995 and 2010. So we can consider them as also post millennials. These people are more tech savvy. That means they use gadgets very often, and they believe in learning by doing or creating new things. So they believe more in hands-on learning. So teachers need to be equipped with the technology, because most of the teachers, they belong to the previous generations, maybe Generation X or Generation Y and so on. They are not so much technologically savvy or not gadget savvy. Then BYOD, as we have stated, it stands for bring your own device. So there are some other variants also, bring your own equipment or bring your own class, like that. So the people born between 1995 and 2010, they are true digital natives from their earliest youth. So they have been exposed to internet, networks, and mobile systems. So they know how to use all these devices very efficiently. With BYOD, you are creating one-to-one classroom. So students bring and use their choice of technological devices in the classroom. Now there are few advantages and disadvantages with respect to BYOD. Now the benefits of BYOD are that students know the devices, so they know how to troubleshoot their device if there is any problem, so they know the exact configuration and what all they can install on that. Then technology has many possibilities, that is the main advantage. So it shows what all things are possible with mobile phone. It is not just making a calls or receiving the messages, so you can do much more things with that. Then it's very cost effective. So if you compare the cost of buying a laptop with a mobile phone, then obviously mobile phones are cheaper, and it can do uh, very powerful tasks like even executing the programs. So that I will show how you can do it. Then learning outside the school hours is possible. Then respect for the device, since it is their own device, then they know how to use it carefully, so they will use it responsibly. Then the disadvantages are like there's a possibility that students with device without devices, that is there may be some students who may not be able to afford the required device. Then one more problem will be different devices. So since students have a freedom to get their own device with their own configuration, some softwares may not be installed on some of the mobile phones. Then distractions, so apart from learning, they may get or they may check the messages on WhatsApp or other social media platforms in between, and it may also result into not responsible student. So many countries are supporting BYOD, that is Austria, USA, Estonia, Australia, Finland, Norway, Portugal, Switzerland, UK, and other several countries. They have this BYOD policy coming up. So in India also, AICT has come up with a BYOD policy, and they have tie up with Cisco DevNet. So it has been done by AICT India, that is All India Council for Technical Education, which is the highest body with respect to professional education for setting the standards. Now let us first look at the first tool, QPython. So QPython is the mobile application which you can install free of cost on any Android phone. Okay, so QPython is a script engine which runs Python programs on Android devices. So it can help developers develop Android applications, develop easily. It's the one of the advantage. So that is QPython includes a complete development kit which help you to develop programs with the mobile phone, and it's very powerful. You can extend it as you want. You can write your own modules and extend it if you feel that some features are lacking. Then great support is available. So commercial support is available with QPython API. So you can also embed QPython SDK, and it can save your time. Now it is available in two versions, QPython and QPython 3. So you to download it, you can visit www.qpython.com. So you will also find it in your Play Store. So this is the basic interface. When you install, you will find this kind of interface on your mobile phone. Okay. So this is how you can execute the programs. Actually, I wanted to show the demo, but unfortunately, I'm not able to connect my mobile phone with the PC. So some configuration issues, so I'm not able to show the demo. But you can see here that it supports two kinds of interfaces. That is, you can execute the programs on a terminal. So you can see here that you can see command prompt is shown, and even some basic code is also written. Say for example, there's a string defined hello python, and on the next line I have said that str star 3, so that is it's going to display string three times. So you can see hello cube python and hello cube python. So it is being displayed here. Then on the right hand side, you can see that it also supports the Jupyter notebooks. So you can create a notebook and you can start typing the program and execute. So it's a very advanced tool which can help you to execute Python programs on your mobile phones. Of course, you can also work on editors here. Say for example, if you are having vi editor or some other editor or nano editor, so you can just type nano and uh, program name.py. It will open the editor and you can type your program, save it, come out, and just say python 3 space file name.py, so it will execute here. So whatever things you can do on your laptop or on your desktop, the same things you can do here on your mobile phone when you install QPython. It is possible. And you may see here that the same keypad is also supported, but if you need some advanced keypads, then you may have to go for hackers keypad. That will help you to type a little bit faster. So the next tool is Google Blockly. So Blockly is a library for building visual programming editors. So you need not have to type here. You just need to drag and drop. So I will just show the small demo after this slide. So Blockly is a library that adds visual code editor to web and mobile apps. The Blockly editor uses interlocking graphical blocks to represent code concepts like variables, logical expressions, loops, and more. It allows users to apply programming principles without having to worry about syntax or intimidation of blinking cursor on the command line. So it basically it works like a puzzle. So you have a picture and that picture is divided into smaller blocks and they are jumbled and you are going to rearrange them. So in that way, so using just drag and drop feature, you can create a program and execute. From the user's perspective, Blockly is an intuitive visual way to build code. From developer's perspective, Blockly is a ready-made user interface for creating a visual language that emits syntactically correct user-generated code. So Blockly can support blocks to many programming languages, including the popular options. For example, it supports JavaScript, Python, PHP, Lua, and Dart. So these are the languages which are supported by Google Blockly. Now, Blockly is one of the growing number of visual programming environments. So deciding which one to use in your app is important step. So here are few of Blockly's biggest strengths to help you make the decision. So the first one is the exportable code. So when you draw a block, simultaneously it's going to generate a code. So you will see that in the demo. Okay. Users can extract their block based programs to common programming languages and smoothly transition to text based programming. So when you create a block, actually it generates the code in your selected language, but the moment you select another language, it's going to generate the code in that particular language. Okay. So any moment you can switch to any programming language. And it's open source. Everything about Blockly is open, so you can fork it, hack it, and use it in your own sites and Android apps. Even you can extend it, you can develop or you can add a new language. Then it is extensible. So tweak Blockly to fit your needs by adding custom blocks for your API or removing unneeded blocks and functionality. Then next, it is highly capable. So Blockly is not a toy. So you can implement complex programming tasks like calculating standard deviation in a single block. And international. So Blockly has been translated into 40 plus languages, including right to left versions for Arabic and Hebrew. So all this content for the slides have been taken from Google Blockly website. So if you visit Blockly website, you will find this content. Now this is the interface you will find when you open this URL, that is developers.google.com/blockly. So we'll just see a small demo here. Yeah. So you can see here that in this section you can try Blockly. Now this is a very simple program which is going to print hello world for 3 times. So by default, you can see here the language selected is JavaScript, but now when I select Python, it's going to generate Python code now. Now when I run here, so you can see on the screen it has displayed hello world one time, second time, third time. Yeah, so three times after printing hello world, it has come out. Now we can, what we can do here is we can just select a block and drag and drop here. Now you can see here the moment I dragged and dropped a block, it has simultaneously generated the code for it. So let me again drag and drop something else. Maybe uh, maybe I'll go for if. Okay, so you can see here, so I have dragged and dropped it to if block. Okay, so in this way you can drag and drop a code block, drop a block, and simultaneously it will generate the code on the right hand side. So this is really great when you want to migrate from one programming language to another programming language, because these blocks are generic. Okay, so these blocks are programming language independent, it doesn't affect anything. So when you select a particular programming language, the code in that language will be generated. Okay, so this is about Blockly. Yeah, so next tool is VisuPy. The demonstration of this tool is actually not available. uh, Actually what you have seen now is from the blocks, the Blockly was generating the code. But what you are seeing now, VisuPy does exactly the opposite. Let's assume that you have the source code and you want to understand the flow of code, how it works. So it does the reverse way. So you give a program as the input and it's going to give the visualization as the output. So this was the uh, project which was done in CERN WebFest 2020 by some team. So I have specified the URL here, and a small demo of 1 minute is also available in YouTube. So you can go and just watch it, and maybe you can try to contact authors if you want to contribute, or if you want to see more features. But it does exactly the opposite. It is really helpful to understand the flow of program in existing programs. Then next is the Python textbook companion project by FOSS. So FOSS is the project run by IIT Bombay, India. So the textbook companion activity aims to create a repository of reference material for Python by coding solved examples of standard engineering textbooks using Python. So this activity intends to make individuals learn Python through a practical approach, provide a huge database of companions as a learning resource, to make it easy for users of such textbooks to start using the Python, to improve the documentation available for Python. So if you want more information, then you can visit the URL mentioned on this slide. So basically the main aim of this project is pick any engineering textbooks, and when you see the engineering textbooks, it will be having lots of equations. So write the programs to convert those equations to programs. Or sometimes it also happens that there are some textbooks which includes the codes in other languages, maybe C++, MATLAB, or some other language, or even C language. So convert that code to Python. Okay, so basically it is encouraging people to use the same textbook but with Python codes as the examples. So it is available as internship to students. So students can apply, and if they get selected, they have to submit all these codes and they will get paid. But currently, this project is not running. They may start it soon. Yeah. So this was the screenshot. Okay, then the next tool which I would like to discuss is the Flowgorithm. So Flowgorithm is a free beginners programming tool that is based on simple graphical flowcharts. So typically when a student first learns a program, they often use one of the text-based programming languages. Depending on the language, this can either be easy or frustratingly difficult. Many languages require you to write lines of confusing code just to display the text hello world. By using flowcharts, you can concentrate on programming concepts rather than all nuances of a typical programming language. You can also run your programs directly in the Flowgorithm. So once you understand the programming language logic, it is easy for you to learn one of the major languages. So Flowgorithm can interactively convert your flowchart to over 18 languages. So these include C Sharp, C++, Java, JavaScript, Lua, Perl, Python, Ruby, Swift, Visual Basic .NET, and Visual Basic Access. So VBA. This Flowgorithm tool is created by Devin Cook. So if you visit Flowgorithm website, you will find the details. Now I see Flowgorithm from a different perspective here. Uh, in Blockly, tools like Blockly are suitable when students are in high school, but when they come to college level or higher level education like engineering or computer science education, then we may not be able to incorporate Blockly like tools in the curriculum. So in that case, Flowgorithm will help us because the first topic starts uh, the first topic we start in engineering when we teach computer science or introductory programming is the algorithms and flowchart. So flowchart is more formal compared to Blockly. Okay, uh, and some people whose primary language or whose mother tongue is not English, they may face problems in understanding the concepts and writing a program using text-based programming languages. So in that case, adding some sort of visual visuals or visual programming way will help them to understand the logic first. So once they understand the logic, then they can switch to any language. So this is how we can incorporate Flowgorithm tool in our curriculum. Features of Flowgorithm are it is easy to understand the output. Then a graphical variable watch window is available. Interactively generate real code. So 18 plus languages are supported, including the Python. So safe recursion is supported. Loops, arrays, and flexible expressions are supported. Then multilingual support is uh, provided. Now, on this slide, you can see here that there are several symbols which are used in our normal flowcharts have been included here. Say, for example, in flowchart, we need start and stop symbol, we need input output symbols, declaration of variables, then function call symbols, looping statement symbols, and the controls symbols. So you just need to drag and drop them to create a flowchart. Now you can see here this is a simple program. Okay, so it just does the sum of first five numbers. Okay, so you can see here on the left hand side the flowchart is drawn, and on the right hand side the Python code is generated, and on the bottom right corner you can see the output. Now you can visit flowgorithm.org website to know more about Flowgorithm. Now let's see a small demo here. Okay. Okay, so this is the basic user interface you will get. So I'll just try to print a hello message. So I'll double click here and I'll say hello. Yeah, so I'll just try to run it, and you can see here it has printed the message hello. Okay, so let us select a different view here. So I will select code and console. So let me select Python language here. Yeah, Python. So you can see here that on the left hand side we have a flowchart, and on the right hand side we have the corresponding code and the output. So this is how this tool works. So if we want to see the features, so you can see here it supports these many languages. So if you feel that okay, even Indonesia language is supported here, so you can see here on the screen. If you see that some language is not supported, you can write to Devin Cook. He will send you the template file, and you can add the translation to it, and you can send him back. So he will include it in the next release of the Flowgorithm tool. So in this way, you will be able to convert the code in other language. So you can see here. So I have selected the language as Indonesia here, but it is able to successfully generate the uh, Python code. So this is possible with Flowgorithm. As I have already told you, if something is not possible, if some programming language support is uh, not provided, then you can also add that programming language. So I will show it. I will cover that point next. Yeah. So after this, let us see some advantages and disadvantages of Flowgorithm. So it is very easy to use, and drag and drop and corresponding code generation is possible. It is very beginner friendly and a great tool to learn problem solving, because the learner need not have to concentrate on the uh, programming language syntax. So often uh, those students who are beginning programming and whose native language is not English, they struggle a lot, and they are stuck between semantics of the programming language, that is the logic of the program, and the syntax of the programming language. So that we can avoid by introducing such visual tools. Then disadvantages, our code generation is limited. So for example, two or more dimensional arrays are not supported. Maybe they will be supported in future editions. Then language specific features are not supported. So here the language specific feature, we are speaking about the broadcast operator in Julia. So that is not supported here. So we may have to see what features are not supported with respect to Python language also. Maybe the lists and several other things are not supported. And presently no support for Indic languages. So we need to add the Indic language support. Now let's see how we can add support to new programming language here. So I have considered Julia, because Julia language support was not present in Flowgorithm. For that, I took a template file of a Python programming language and edited that and generated the code in Julia language. So let us see the content of template file here. Yeah. So this is the template file you are seeing. So the first section is the name of the programming language. So I have set it to Julia. Then the extension is .jl. Then keywords of Julia language have been included here, and case sensitive is true. Note here that this earlier this was a template file of a Python language. So some template files are available on flowgorithm.org website. So if you go to documentation section, you will find some template files. Download them. They will be having the extension .fpgt. and you can edit them to suit your requirements. Now in the next section you can see here keywords for data types have been added: int, float, boolean and string. Then function settings were made, like convention is the camel case and so on. So variable names have been added, so again it is the camel case. So string literal syntaxes have been added here. So basically here in this section we are defining the literals. Then the operator precedence has been defined, and in almost all languages the operator precedence remains the same. So this is all operator precedence. Now this is how to perform string concatenation. So those syntaxes have been defined here. It's basically a grammar file. So you are going to define grammar as per the syntax of the language. So this is about subtraction and addition, multiplication, okay, and division. And similarly, modulo operator, then power operator, okay, then negation, then also the sub expression syntax has been defined. Then the intrinsic functions. So you can define in this section the inbuilt functions of the language. So again, this will become a language specific aspect. Okay, there may be a same function, there may be a same functionality, but with a different name in different programming languages. Okay, so this becomes language specific aspect here. So all intrinsic functions you can define. Okay. And if some functions are not defined, so you have the facility to add your own functions also here in this section. So you can write your own function and use it here, define it here. So you can see here that some features are lacked by some languages. So if you feel that a particular feature is lacking in some language, you can write that functionality, and you want to provide support in Flowgorithm, then you can add that code here. So this is how function is defined. So function name, parameters, and so on. Okay. Similarly, the statements syntax has been defined. So single array syntax has been defined here. Then similarly, the syntax of loops, while loop, for loop has been defined. And similarly, the syntax of if condition here. So this is an example how you can edit the already available template file to create new language support. Okay, if you're working in some language, say for example, let's assume that you are working or you are using Rust language, okay, and you want to add Rust language support to Flowgorithm, then you can use a similar template, right, and add modify the same file and save it as .fpgt. So you have created a template for new language. So whenever you are running that, you just need to select that template file. So that option is also available here. Say so if you have created a new language support, then you can just come option. Okay, that's the browse option. So select this and you have to create this template file. Okay, and you will see that the code in that particular language. Okay, so this is how it works. Okay. 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 So my code is available in my repository. So if you visit my GitHub repository, you will find the template file and also the steps on how to use it. So future goals are add Indic language support for Flowgorithm, then customize Blockly for more languages. So when I say add Indic language support for, we want to add several our local languages to the Flowgorithm, which will actually enhance or which will actually help us to reach more students and introduce computing to more students in our country, and customize Blockly for more languages. So as you have seen that it has support for only few languages. So you want, if you want, you can add more support there. It can be good open source project. Then build more code visualization tools. Then more gamified tools are required to enhance the learning. So these are the future goals. So thank you everyone. If you have any questions, I will take it up.
Well, thank you for the amazing talk that you have shared with us, Gajendra. It certainly
Yeah,
opens a new perspective for us. And for me personally, I wish I've known Flowgorithm since I was in college because I learned syntax first in the college, then the algorithm, the logic, and it was hell for
yeah,
me.
yeah.
Okay, so we've got two questions here. The first
Okay,
is from Ridwan Febrianto. How do you make sure that the student is being responsible when we use BYOD?
okay. So we can make student being responsible. Uh, there are some softwares actually. So when teacher enter into the class, all mobile phones, all BYOD devices has to be connected to the teacher's system. So once they are connected to teacher system, teacher can monitor on his system what the
Oh,
student is doing. So in this way, you can make them little bit responsible.
okay. That's how we force
Mm.
and make them to be more responsible with their device. Okay.
Yeah.
And then from Satya Budi,
Mm.
there are numbers of tools that you have shared with us in this session. Do you have any suggestion on how each of the tools will fit to a computer science college curriculum?
Yeah. So when I was discussing Flowgorithm, so I stressed the point that Flowgorithm is one such tool which we can incorporate into our curriculum, because it directly starts with the flowchart. So and we need to see how we can do more things. And one more thing what we can do is we can try to include more apps like QPython in our curriculum. So these are the two possibilities I see when we think of including these tools into the computer science curriculum.
There's the answer for that, Satya
Yeah,
Budi. Thank you for the answer, Gajendra.
yeah. Thank you,
Well, what
Zaki.
an awesome, great session about how we use Python and FOSS to teach tech to millennials and Generation Z. Thank you so much again, Gajendra Deshpande. We are very happy to have you on the stage. And also, thank you for all of you who participate in this session. Then allow me to close this session and see you soon and in the other session. You can go to the main stage because we will have a quiz there. So we will see you there. Thank you, Gajendra, and thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Zaki. Thank you, organizers of PyCon Indonesia.